Hello, this is Pastor Roland. Checking in to see how you're doing. Hope you're doing better. Today I want to talk about faith. And I also want to talk about getting ready. Getting ready. You see, I'll never forget, long time ago, when I was a young man, I used to teach classes at the university, graduate level courses. And I remember in my class, I often told them the story of the editor of the Oakland Tribune. And I can't remember the gentleman's name right now, it slips my mind, but it'll come to me later. But he told a story about when he was a young man. There were riots when Martin Luther King was killed, and he was a reporter, and he was there covering the riots. In other words, reporting on what happened, working long hours, sometimes 24 hours a day, working, talking to people, interviewing people, reporting, writing. And somebody asked him, they said, "Why are you doing this? Why are you working so hard like this? What's it for?" And he said, "What I'm doing is I'm preparing for someday when that moment comes, that once in a lifetime moment. And when that once in a lifetime moment comes, I'll be ready." Okay? I'll never forget that. And so we have to prepare for when that once in a moment lifetime comes. It could be an opportunity. It could be a chance for salvation. A door might open. When the door opens, Christ says in the book of Revelation, or John sees a door open. This is, I think, the third chapter, the fourth chapter. And when that door opens, you have to be ready. You have to be ready. Now, how do you get ready? Well, you should start. Start now. Start now to get ready for that future moment. See, we live in time. We live in our bodies. We live in this earthly realm, which is a realm of space and time. But that which is seen is made by that which is unseen. There is a timeless realm from which the Creator created this creation, which the Creator created time and space and matter. He created them. Our soul belongs, our soul belongs in the timeless realm. And as you now exist, you're a soul in a body. But Christ told us to be in the world, but not of the world. See, there's a way of being in the world, of living and moving and having your being, where you enjoy the beauties of the world, the delights that God created, the blue sky and the puffy clouds and butterflies and people and all the wonderful things that God made. And yet, at the same time, not getting too caught up in them. See, it's one thing to, you've heard the expression of a true appreciation of art, for example. They call it a disinterested love. A disinterested love of beauty, of art. In other words, there's nothing in it for you other than the sheer joy of seeing it or hearing it. Okay? So you have to have a disinterested, a detached love for the world and for people and for other people. See, if you have a sticky love for people, a sticky love, needy love, clingy love, sensuous love, if you have that for people, then it's baggage for them, and it's baggage for you. Okay? You need to have a love, an agape love, an emotionless love, a disinterested love where you're looking for the good of another. You know, I remember when I was um, in high school, in Catholic high school. No, I'm not a Catholic, but I went to Catholic high school. My parents sent me there because I wasn't doing well in what they call junior high school. Where I came from, they call it junior high. Some call it middle school. I wasn't doing well at all academically, or I was hanging around with the wrong people. And back then it wasn't expensive to go to parochial school, so they sent me there figuring it might give me some discipline, and it did. Had to wear a uniform, gray pants and a blue blazer and a tie. That's right. It was very nice at school, but I remember they talked about love, and they said love is the appreciation of the good in another. Love is the appreciation of the good in another. So can you see how you can appreciate the good in the other without wanting something from them? See, people always want something, don't they? See, it's not. It's Christ said to let not your left hand. Don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Okay. So when you give, just give. Without, you don't want anything in return. Okay. When you love, you appreciate the good in another, and that's about all you can do. You can't do a lot for people. You can speak the truth. You see, which might wake them up, but it may not. That's all you can do. You can't force people to see the truth. And if you were to seduce people, if you tried to be clever, which is what a lot of people, what we all do, don't we? We try to get others to think well of us. So we smile and we act nice, and we try to woo people to make them like us, think we're good or nice, something. Well, all you're doing is trying to fool them. See, you want a good opinion of yourself. See, you shouldn't want any opinion of yourself. It shouldn't matter what people think of you. Just tell the truth. Whatever the truth is, just say it. Okay? And that's all you need to do. So now we're talking about getting ready for whatever the future might hold, a future in this timely realm. And you have to see the purpose of life. Life is like a school. Life is like a school. But life is not a pleasure party to have pleasure. You know, that's not what it's for. God provides things to have a modest pleasure. That we get a modest pleasure from them, or a modest satisfaction from work. But we shouldn't be getting too much. We shouldn't get an ego high from things. We shouldn't use things to support our ego, our pride, our sensuous to build our sensuous nature, to want more and more sensuous experiences, and then to demand those from other people, and to demand a sticky love, to want something from them, to want their approval and their. See, all you're doing is cramping their style and weighing them down. And see, that's why a lot of people, they're so needy for love that other people run away from them because they're too needy. See, but ego's in our unwashed, fallen condition. That's the way we are. We want something from others, so they can reflect back to us a good impression of ourselves. See, we're always playing God. We want to be good and great and holy and wonderful and nice. We want to play God. To have other people worship us and admire us. See, it's kind of silly, really. So, to prepare for that moment. So what you need is, life is a school. You have to discover what you need to discover to live forever. This is you get one opportunity. This is it. However long the Lord gives you, it's your opportunity. Your a certain number of years within which to find out what you need to know and to develop character. And for most of us, we've become very corrupt through experience. See, that's what happens through experience. Remember, I said that you shouldn't be wanting you should have a disinterested love of things. Remember I said a disinterested love of things. And so a disinterested love of the world. A love with an emotionless love, an appreciation of good in others, an appreciation of God's handiwork. Okay? But not sticky where you want something from people. See, our egos, selfish egos, want something from everything. We want experience. We're not happy if the food is not spicy enough. We want it to be more spicy, spicier, more intense. See? So you see what happens when you want something from those sensuous experiences, or you want something from other people. Then there's no end to your cravings. Got to have more, spicier, bigger, faster, shinier, more. See, bigger screens, bigger screens, until the screen is as big as your wall. And sound, not just sound, but it has to be sound, stereo sound. And see what I mean? You become corrupt by it. See, and your drugs, and your pleasures, and your substances. See, that's what happens. So this is not. I'm not blaming. I'm just saying that's what happens. So you have to have a different attitude toward things. And the only way I know to have that different attitude, so that you're not corrupted. Oh, I said what happens to us is we become corrupted. Corrupted by love. Corrupted by praise. See? Corrupted by praise. If you praise someone too much and it gets to their head, then what? It ruins them. On the other hand, if you criticize people, if someone is criticized, perhaps harshly or unfairly, and they resent it, they resent the criticism, then they're corrupted by it too. They resent it so much. They eventually go out and look for people to criticize them or put them down just as they had been, so that they can hate being put down and hate the criticism, and that puffs up their ego. See, the ego thrives on both love and hate. See, we love praise, and when we find out that people's praise was phony, then we hate it and hate them. And then the ego thrives on hate. See? You see the corruption of love and hate? And then in our love and our hate, we become empty because it cuts us off from God's love, cuts us off from our spiritual roots, from the flow of love and light from within. And so we feel empty. Then we crave something to fill the emptiness. And then so here comes more sensuous experiences to fill that emptiness, which corrupts us. See how that works? And then we feel the pain of seeing ourselves deteriorate. See, before our very eyes, we look in the mirror, look at our addictions and our compulsions and look at ourselves, how resentful we are, and that we feel and the pain of it, we can't bear it. So we look for something to take away the pain. So we turn to marijuana and pills and alcohol and more sensuous experiences. We become totally corrupt. Eventually we become totally corrupt. Absolutely and abjectly and totally corrupt. And we misuse everything. You misuse your partner, your kids, your work, the internet, your texting, everything you misuse. See? To try to extract some value out of it for your ego. And to run from the pain and to run from the light of truth. So you see, you're in no condition to step through that door. If you step through the door now, you'll end up in the wrong place. See, compatible with what you are now. You don't want to go there. I changed the lighting a little bit there. I hope that's better. There was a shadow on me, which is fine, but I think I'm better off without the shadow. Now the shadow's on the wall, but I'll just have to live with it because I'm making this is a good program, a good video here. So what was I saying? I was saying that the only way so you become corrupt. So now your problem is not simply that, now you can't go out and have a disinterested love of things because you're corrupted by everything. So the first thing you need to do is to learn how to separate. to gain a little bit of mental distance, not only from the world, see, but also from your thoughts. See, now your thoughts have also corrupted you. See, all those experiences that you loved and hated and relished, and were all the passions and the rages, and they all corrupted. They're all in there. And now everything, see, because now you go out in the world and react to everything. React. Everything gets inside, so now your mind is totally corrupted by experience. You lay down at night and the day's activities run through your mind over and over again. See, every moment you meet each moment improperly. You don't meet it with patience and with wisdom. You react like an animal, or even worse, a resentful animal, or a greedy or a selfish animal. See, and then it sticks. Something sticks from that moment. See, if you met each moment properly, then you would glide through life. You would glide through, and at the end of the day, there would be nothing. Nothing sticks, nothing to process. See, and the next morning you would wake up, like children wake up. To meet the day, nothing from the past sticks. There's no leftover baggage from yesterday. They're free to discover new things. So you must become like that. But now everything sticks, so you need to also learn how to stand back from your thoughts. See, you have to stand back from them, so you can see them in the light and observe them without reacting to them. See, first then you react to your reactions, and you react to the corruption. See, first you're corrupted. First you resented someone or something, full of resentment. So then you looked for substitute pleasures. Then you became corrupted by them, and then you hated those substitute pleasures. People hate their food. See, people hate their food. They see the food has corrupted them. See, or they hate their drugs, or they hate everything, because everything has betrayed them. It's because what they wanted something from it, something it couldn't give, or something it could give but it withheld. See, some people withhold. See, but anyway, regardless of what happened, corrupted by that, and then so you resent that, and then you're corrupted by that, and then you hate yourself, turn the resentment on yourself, and then that corrupts you. So this all has to stop. And like I said, if you can learn to stand back from all of it, just get a little bit of mental distance and just observe it in God's light. See, that's why the meditation is so important. See, I've tried so many different ways of trying to tell you that these people, like Teresa of Avila, St. John of the Cross, Miguel Molinos, Francois Fenelon, Madame Guyon, and probably people like Thomas à Kempis and Brother Lawrence, and many of these people, St. Francis de Sales, they learned how to find the presence of God. They could sit in reality, in the moment, in the now. See, today we call it mindfulness. Oh, but it's mindfulness plus. See, it's not just mindfulness. It's mindfulness plus the presence of God. So sitting in the moment, in the present. See, their soul communed with God, and their soul found peace. And then in God's light, see, once you find God's light, then His light also deals with all of the things with which you have always struggled. See, that's the thing, your ego has also always struggled with everything. You struggled with your addictions, your compulsions, your bad habits. You struggled with your thoughts. So you struggled with everything. Now you have to learn to stand back. All you did was made it stronger. And it was just another round of your ego playing God and trying to save itself, trying to cure itself, trying to make itself right, trying to make itself innocent. See? Doesn't work. So what you need is to stand back and let God's light deal with all of these things that have gone wrong. Let God's light deal with them. You know how if you get a towel that's been in your locker, it's all, you put your wet towel in the locker, and then a couple of days later you go back and it's not good. So then you take that towel and you hang it out in the bright sunlight. See, nowadays a lot of people don't do that anymore. What do? We put it in the washing machine and the dryer, which is okay. But sometimes put it out in the bright sunlight. Hang it out in the sunlight. And then see how wonderfully clean and fresh it becomes. It's magic. The magic of the sunlight. Well, in a very similar way, God's light, see, can, they say you can't unscramble an egg. Well, God can. God can do it. So you need to get your ego out of the way. Just like with your kids, see, you messed your kids up, and now you're constantly chasing after them. See, and you just make it worse. See, so you're constantly trying to make yourself better, and so it just makes it worse. So just learn to stand back and observe. You'd be better off if you didn't do anything other than meditate with my meditation. So I think I've made my point. You must begin to get ready for the future. And begin now. To find the presence of God, and everything else will take care of itself. You don't need to try to dredge up things from the past and any of that. It'll all happen in its own time and place. See, in God's time, at His good pleasure. So give the meditation a try. It's free. It's complimentary. My name is Pastor Roland.